I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Danielle Pierce on the line, and she's the founder over at Real Estate Profit Lab. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Real Estate Profit Lab. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
So I'll give you the 60-second version. So initially I had this dream of I was going to go to college, get my degree, and climb the corporate ladder and be a partner in a public accounting firm, which at the time was, big six, which shows you how old I am, right? So I think now it's only 3 or 4. Got into corporate, didn't much like that, wanted to get out. I actually eventually got my wish to be laid off, and then I wasn't ready for that life either because it definitely, I think I somehow thought I was just going to make money in my sleep or something weird like that. So anyway, I had landed in real estate, got my real estate license. I'm a managing broker. And then I've actually kind of very niched down into 2 very specific areas of real estate. And that is kind of how I got started.
Wow, I love that, and I love that you said that you got niched down, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And I do want to get into Real Estate Profit Lab. But before we do that, there's some younger entrepreneurs, or also, maybe they didn't go to college and they're thinking about where they're, what they're going to do in terms of career. What are your thoughts on getting started in real estate, and what's your advice there?
So that's actually probably the number one question that I get asked, emails, inboxes, and in person. And I would really say there's so many different avenues, and I would suggest figuring out your budget, how much money you have, how much access to credit do you have, and then also your personality matters a lot as well. Some things are more heavily client-focused. For example, being a real estate broker is heavily client-focused. You got to be really good with working with buyers and sellers and kind of navigating a bunch of different issues simultaneously. And if that's not your strong suit, then you might maybe want to get into an area that's less client-focused. So you got to analyze your personality first, and then pick the lane that best aligns with that.
Oh, I love that. And that's the thing, it's so big, like the real estate industry, and there's so many things. So sometimes when people think real estate, they're like, oh, maybe they don't want to be a salesperson, they don't want to be a real estate agent, or maybe they don't want to do it. It's like, that's like a really small piece of the entire real estate industry.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your skill set is. If you're interested in hard property, there's ways to do it. So I love that advice, Danielle. Let's switch it up a bit. I do want to get into what you're doing over at Real Estate Profit Lab. So first, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure. So the company is it's a kind of a rebrand. I used to go by Women, Wealth, and Real Estate, but oddly enough, I was attracting all women, believe it or not. And so, we had to. We had to switch over.
Because it was named Women. Well, yeah. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so the guys are like, do you work with men too? But anywho, what we do is essentially, again, 2 areas of expertise. One is tax lien investing, which has been amazing both for myself and for my clients. And then the other area, which is also very specialized, is actually doing the repair and maintenance for foreclosed properties. And so people are like, oh, that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty big thing. And again, a lot of people don't know much about it, but it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I'll be continuing in both those niches going forward.
Wow, I love that, and I love that you. Because they're both there's just so much opportunity, and it goes to, again, saying in real estate, there's just so many different routes you can go. Let's briefly talk about tax liens for a moment. So first, I don't want to assume that everybody listening knows what tax liens are as an asset class. Do you want to explain that briefly?
Sure. So when I'm referring to tax lien properties, basically what I do and what my clients do as well is go to physical auctions where the properties that are delinquent in property taxes are being auctioned off. So that's one way to acquire them. And then actually, surprisingly, there's a lot more sales that are taking place online. So there's some people you could actually be, who are actually at home or out of the country or, pretty much where there's anywhere where there's a Wi-Fi connection, and they're bidding on properties that way as well. And so there's tax liens, there's tax deeds, there's a distinct difference between the two. But essentially people do it for one of two reasons. They're either doing it for the often double-digit interest rate of return, or they're doing it to actually acquire the property.
That's awesome, and so that's really interesting to hear that it's gone online more. I remember the first time I heard about tax liens, I started learning on them was maybe I think 2007, maybe 2006, and I'm like, what are these? And you have to go down to the office, and you have to do what? What kind of investment is that? Because nothing was really online, so it was like this really like kind of closed door back of the like. What do? You have to give a check to the register, and what? Like this sounds like a lot of. This sounds kind of weird. But yes, now to hear it's going online, and now that there's some other things happening in the industry, that's super interesting to me. So let's talk a little bit more about the geographies you worked in. Now that it's online, I'm guessing because it used to be very localized, like you only worked in your area, but now if it's online, I guess technically you could do it a lot in other areas. Am I wrong, or what kind of areas do you specialize in?
That is absolutely correct. So a lot of people think that you have to live in a state in order to invest there, and that's actually not the case. You can invest in any state that you can afford to invest in, and also that you're familiar with and that you want to acquire properties in that area. Actually, you don't even have to live in the country. There's people who are investing I was talking to the lady in the office in Memphis, Tennessee, and they have a couple of investors that live in, I think she said Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, that are bidding on properties in Tennessee. So yeah, you could do it you could pretty much do it from anywhere.
That's awesome. And so how are you helping your clients? Do you physically help them bid? Are you a consultant? Are you teaching them with a program? Like how if somebody's listening to this and they've always been curious about tax lien, how are you going to help them?
So two ways. My freebies, and I call it my give back, is my YouTube channel where I offer bunch of information, just things that I've learned along the way as an entrepreneur for 13 years, things that I know about tax liens. Like I give out a lot of information there for those who are either too fearful to get started or just don't have all the money that they need yet to buy tax lien properties. And then for those that do, then I have an online course which is comprised of obviously the online portion, and then there's weekly live group coaching calls where I'm actually going through the process to bid on the properties. Because I don't know if you remember back from 2007, but getting the list, like saying you're going to do it is one thing, and then getting the list.
No.
It's me, people are seeing it and they're like, okay, well, I don't know what this means. So it's breaking down what the things mean on the list and then coming up with a strategy for bidding.
I love it. That's great. So that being said, Danielle, if somebody is listening and they do want to learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out?
So I would recommend subscribing to my YouTube channel, which is Danielle Pierce, and then also subscribing at DaniellePierce.com is the best way as well.
Perfect. Well, hey, Danielle, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing to help your clients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Danielle, thanks again for coming on the show.